Many say that I'm evil, but I'm not. Many say I'm different, but I'm not. Many say I'm insane, but I'm not. I am lonely. I walk alone, with no one to comfort me, no one to love me. I used to be normal like you. Funny, I always hated being part of the normal crowd. You should appreciate what you have. You should pray that you never have to feel what I feel. Hate, depression, abandonment, betrayal. You all have lives. You all have hope. I lost these things to a madman. He is the one who is truly evil, not me. He stole my life, my hope, my everything. He left me to rot in this damned experiment. He welcomed me with open arms. He promised me a new life, one better than which I ever had. He lied. The whole thing is from me. I still remember that day. I was a strong boy, fresh out of high school. The sun was shining, but I was loathing. I felt like everyone I saw was staring me down, judging me. And they were. Oh, how they were. My walk home from my final day of school was just as usual hell. Kids would ride by their cars and yell, douche, and other stuff. I simply just had to take it. Or did I? I thought I had dawned on me. These kids were slowly trying to kill me every day. Why not make it quick and easy and painless? I was blinded by grief. If I had known then how I know now, then I would have been taking that rope from the basement. But where to do it? Not at my house. I hate my mom. Not enough to shatter her mentally. I picked on an alleyway near the outskirts of town. I was halfway through wrapping around the light post when she sulked into the alley. "Young man, what are you doing?" "Ending it." "Are you insane? Come with me. I believe I can help you." "Help me? You're off a rocker, old man. Leave me to die in peace." "Now I can't do that." He grabbed my arm. "Come." When I struggled, he pulled harder. I fell and he caught me, quickly dragged me inside and bolted the door behind us. "Young man, I think I can help you. I know what you're feeling. Simply just listen to me." "Damn you. Fine, but hurry. Life is a precious thing. But what would you say if I could give you a new one, for free?" "Say, where the fuck do I sign?" "Good. I've been doing a human anomaly research, and after a few experiments, I think I have mastered manipulation from the human form. I believe I can make you do anything, or anyone you want. Of course, there are circumstances." "Like what?" He pulled out a sheet of paper. "Well, first off, sign here." "What if I don't want to?" "Well, then that lies the second circumstances. You don't have a choice." "What?" "You heard me, dear fellow." He pulled out a syringe filled with green liquid. "Now hold still." I tried to run. I tried to scream, but he grabbed me. He forced a needle into my neck, and everything went black. I awoke in the glass chamber. He had me in a suit, for whatever reason. Seconds after I woke, he entered the room in a lab coat. "Hello, my friend. Did you have a nice nap?" "Where the fuck am I?" "That is not of your concern. All you have to do is this. Sit back and let me do all the work." "Hear me out, you psychopath. I'll kill you." "I'm afraid not, my dear child. You are going to sit there while I make history." "History?" "Yes, when I successfully perform a full body transformation on you." "You can't." "Oh, but I can." He flipped on the switch, began speaking in a microphone. "Test, test. Now, let us begin with experiment 84B. "What the hell are you doing?" "Subject vitals seems to be normal. His heart rate is skyrocketed, though. Brainwave activity is high, and insulin levels are normal." "Let me go." Ready to begin the experiment. He then turned to the lever, activating node 1, and he pulled. A bolt of energy pierced through my body, tearing my every being apart. I couldn't even scream. My vision blurred, and I was suddenly blind. Subject's appearance is beginning to warp, activating node 2. The pain increased. I felt my mouth closed up, my eyes shut. Subject's face is completely morphed, activating node. The siren sounded. "Error, error, meltdown in progress." He screamed, "No! His face and his limbs aren't fully developed yet. I must save the experiment." The last thing I heard was a loud crash. I awoke again, among the rubble. I could hardly see. It was as if a screen of some sort of in my eyes. My mouth felt as if it was shown shut. I couldn't even breathe, for my nose had shut too. But somehow I didn't need to breathe anymore. I got up. My arms and legs felt strange. It took me nearly a minute to regain my control of them. I began to walk through the debris. I shattered my computer and lay near a dismembered foot. A trail of blood led me to a hallway and then a door. I could hear muffled grunts behind it. I opened the door and saw the policeman leave, having some fallen concrete slabs away from the door. He turned and saw me, and then he screamed and ran. I tried to yell at him to stop, but I couldn't speak, so I chased him. As I began to run, I felt my legs shifting, as if they were growing while I moved. I soon caught up to him, and as when I reached to grab his shoulder, a tendril shot from my arm and impaled his chest. He cursed and fell. What the fuck just happened? I thought. I looked over to his dying body, gripping a hole on his chest. I would do anything to save him. I continued to follow the blood trail until I came up to the body of the man. He was crushed under a fallen rafter. I lifted him up, not realizing until later the strength that task would have required. Angrily, I hurled his body at the wall and splattered with the rain of blood. I tried to escape the building, but every turn was dead end. I continued to search until I came into the bathroom. I needed to get this blood off my hands. I walked inside the bathroom and looked in the mirror, and then I realized something. I didn't have a face, so now I'm branded as a monster. I live in the nightmares of teens and adults alike, all because of that bastard. Soon after this experiment, I had discovered true powers. I could reach and stretch my legs and arms to unnatural lengths, even produce tendrils from my back. After this whole experiment, I wanted as a friend, so people and children, so they're the only ones who didn't view me as with fear. I often played with them, but I cannot always control my body. Every now and again, I slip up and someone dies. But it's not my fault. I only seek companionship. This is my burden, and I carry it internally. I enjoy pictures, and I like sneaking into them. They're always fun with people photographing wildlife, so I reside in the forest, as I do now understand to be photobombing. But whenever I track the person down, because I wish to see what I look like in the photo, they run. And one thing leads to another, and suddenly another person dies at my hand. I promise I never mean any true harm, but I've lost my sense of, well, everything. I no longer know how to be a person. Things never seem to go down well for me. Someone always ends up dead. I simply ask you this when you see me. Do not run away. In fact, run towards me. Welcome me. But of course, it would mean so much to me, and it just may save your life. But then, how will you know it's me? I am sure you've heard of me, and if you haven't, you can easily find some photos of me on the internet. Simply go on Google and type in Slender Man. Well, my pretties, this was Experiment 84B, a creepypasta. My final thoughts on the story? I thought this was actually a pretty nice creepypasta. It's a pretty good story. I personally really enjoyed it. Honestly, what I can definitely say right now is this is honestly one of the most interesting, fun stories I've ever had to say. It's a pretty good story. I mean, this is an origin behind Slenderman, which we all know who Slenderman is. He's like the one of the popular creepypasta monsters that you've probably have seen before. So I thought, why not read this story? I mean, I've seen a couple narrations of this one, and I'm surprised not a lot of people like Creepypasta, Mr. Creepypasta have not narrated this one yet. So I thought, you know what? Maybe they should give me an opportunity to go ahead and, do this story. This is honestly a really fun story. I personally really liked it. So, anyways, I guess with that being said and that being the case, I personally really have to say the sentence structuring was pretty good, as well as the grammar and the sentence structuring. I personally do like how this is well made. I mean, this honestly is about a fury of what is the possibility of what could have happened to Slender Man before he became who he is. Basically, he was a lone person who didn't have friends and that, but then all of a sudden he, gets in this experiment and becomes a monster, aka Slender Man. Honestly, I find this to be a bit believable because this could be a possibility. I'm not saying it's 100% accurate, but this is a good possibility of, Slender Man could have been just a normal person, but we never really truly know about it. So, anyways, I guess with that being said and that being the case, I personally thought this was a pretty good story. So, what do I have to say? Well, I have to say it's a really great story. I will leave a link to the story down in the description below. So you guys, if you guys are interested in checking this one out, you guys can, and it's a pretty interesting story. So I guess with that being the case and with that being said, I personally think that this story is really enjoyable, to which it is, and I really thought this was a great creepypasta. So yeah, to the author of the original of this story, I can't seem to find out who you are, so yeah, I'm gonna say right now, I'm gonna leave this as anonymous for now. If I ever find out who the original author of this story is, I'll be sure to give the author proper credit, but right now I can't seem to do much because I don't know who the original author is, so I guess with that being said and that being the case, what did you guys personally think of this story? And by the way, I'm gonna say right now, I give this story a 10 out of 10. Like I said, it's a pretty great story. I thought it was enjoyable. It's a interesting theory of how Slenderman came to be, to which it's a possibility that this could be the case. But like I said, we may not really know the true origin behind him. But this is besides that one Slenderman creep pasta, the other one I did, but this one does have a pretty good theory. So, anyways, I guess with that being said and that being the case, yeah. Like I said, this is just simply my own personal opinion, and if you happen to disagree with me, that's fine too. I give this story a 10 out of 10. It's a great story, it's well made. I personally had fun, reading this one. So, I guess with that being the case and that being said, what did you guys personally think of this story? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what you have done personally to help make this story a lot better, feel free to let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm the Lion Queen. I want to thank you so much for watching today's video. If you're new to my channel, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell for notifications to when I upload, so that way you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, if you are looking into, taking a look at my, Twitter account as well as my DeviantArt, links to those will be in the About page section of my channel, so you guys can go follow me on there if you want. Also, if you want to go subscribe to my backup channel known as Mr. Shigo, link to that will also be in the About page section down below. So, yeah, like I said, if I'm missing anything, let me know what it is in the comments below. And I will be seeing you guys all in the next video. Peace out, and like always, please roll the outro because, well, I'm out.